I remember I was driving from the Washington to from near Bay to California, Sacramento, and I went through Port Angeles and I went into Squam, and then I drove down the I-5, and driving down, I was coming up, I can't remember how I managed, but I was going through Seattle. Okay, I don't know how I managed. I don't know what road I was taking, but I put in the map and it took me that way, right? It hasn't taken me that way, that map, ever since, right? But that time it was taking me down that way, and I was coming into Seattle with all the where the highway has like 10 lanes or something, that part. And then in the distance, I saw one of those big trucks, really massive trucks, and a small truck smashing into it and blowing up. And then the big truck turns and rolls like a movie, right? And it crashes and explodes. I thought it was just movie things that explode. They're actually exploding. And then a ton of other cars started smashing into it. And there was parts of cars flying everywhere. And I was in my Mercedes Benz. And I remember there was a millisecond where I could slow down and pull off, right? Or accelerate and get past, because I could see pieces of cars flying towards us to where we are in the highway. And I looked, and in my mind, I calculated everybody who was braking, some were accelerating, some were going wild all over, in panic, all over the lanes. And I calculated a perfectly made out path if I went at 100 miles an hour. So I put my foot down, the needle went like that, and I started weaving through all the traffic, right? Weaving through all the traffic really fast. And at one point, I saw something coming towards me, and it's like I went past it, and I saw in the rear view mirror hitting the car behind me, right? And rolling off, and I carried on. And then I managed to reach the traffic after the accident, right? It went past it, and I could just see everything happening really small in my rear view mirror. And everybody in the lanes where I was at was driving perfectly fine. They were doing 70, 65 or whatever. And I came in like a rocket, right? Because I was going so fast. So I put my brakes on and I leveled up to their speed. And I just, like, my heart was pumping so hard, right? And they were like, doo, 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 and I looked at everybody around me and doo, 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 driving around, you know, completely oblivious of what had just happened in the back. They had no idea what had happened. So it's like, whoa, that is intense, but it gives you a reality of what choices, life, everything. Did I want to see all that gore? Do I want to get one of those pieces land on my car? Do I want to just go by and go back to the people that to whom it never happened, and they will never know that it ever happened, you know? And I had chosen that one, so I had to accelerate out of all the other experiences or experiencers of that reality of that massive crash, you know? I got out of that one and into the other one. So that was pretty conscious choice, right? I had a very, very conscious choice of what reality to experience in that moment. But most of the time we do those choices completely unawares at a conscious level. And part of the tools and everything is to make us conscious, so that when there is an accident happening, we put the foot down and get out of there, you know, back to a timeline where nothing happened, you know.